The conservatives who exist in the real world are not the same people you see in the comments sections. When I tell my friends and my family who are conservative the type of hateful stuff that I get on a daily basis, the death threats that I get, the comments that I get, they don't believe me. And then I open my phone and I show them, and they still don't believe me. They either think it's fake, or they think it's bots, or they think that it's a liberal pretending to be a conservative. They just cannot fathom that people who believe in the same values that they believe in and vote for the same party that they vote for, they just cannot fathom that those people would leave those harmful, horrible, heinous comments. And we have to remember that the people who are leaving those types of comments online, the people who are making this type of content online, like even people like me, anybody making content online and having these types of conversations, we are not representative of the average person. I do my best to try to explain things that the average person can understand. I try my best to share a worldview that makes the most amount of sense to the most amount of people. I try to consensus build. But at the end of the day, if you're watching this, you're not, generally speaking, an average Canadian. The average Canadian isn't consuming political content. So we have to remember that when we see those horrible, hateful comments, those people are not the people out there. They are not real people. They are not real conservatives. Like, they're real people, but they're not the average real conservative voter. But if the average real conservative voter could truly see the stuff that some of their fellow conservatives are saying online, they would have a morality crisis. They choose to ignore it and pretend that it's not real because it's easier to do so, and I don't blame them for that. They don't want to be associated with that. To them, that's not true conservatism. But the problem is that under Pierre, the online, terminally online, hateful rhetoric, that has become the core basis of the Conservative Party. We need to move away from that. We need to be better than that. We need to have a new face of conservatism in Canada. We need to have a new way of thinking about different ideologies in Canada. Because what we're doing right now, it ain't it. The divide, the hate, the hurt, the stuff that's happening in the real world, it starts online. Because people see the comments from somebody on the other side of the aisle, and their fight or flight starts responding, and they start getting their backs up. And then when they're out in the real world and they meet somebody who disagrees with them ideologically speaking, that starts spinning in their heads. And they want to immediately start by fighting and not start by conversing. And it's so hard. It's so easy to fall into that trap. We need to ignore the hateful rhetoric we're seeing online. And I engage with it a lot. And I debate these people and I make my videos debunking them. But that's not the average person. When you meet a person in your real life, a conservative voter, start with empathy. Start by relating with them, figuring out what you agree with, what you disagree with, having a conversation. As long as they don't start with an attack, don't immediately assume that they are going to attack, because they probably aren't. Just like you probably wouldn't start with an attack. Because the people down there, they are not the people out there.